Okay, let's go on to another controversial point, the maps. The maps have received a lot of hate on the forums. That's one massive thing I've noticed on the forums, is that not many people like these maps at all. And I'm going to discuss what I think. So, I understand everyone's complaints. The atmosphere of the maps do not feel like Gears of War. And what we mean, and I mean and what we mean when we say that is, when you go back to Gears of War 1 is the best example. When you've got maps like Mansion, Escalation, what's the other one? War Machine. Let's think of another one. Not maybe even Mausoleum. Clock Tower. They just had a Gears of War vibe. They weren't all flat. Escalation is literally upstairs up to a mansion, and then Mansion is the mansion from Escalation. Mansion it's very dark. Everything's broken. You can tell that the locusts have invaded the place. Do you know what I mean? You could tell the locusts have been there and had an effect on this place. Everything's broken. Everything's in a bad way. You can tell there's been something big going on. It just feels atmospherically Gears of War. It's a hard atmosphere to describe. It just feels gritty, dark. Mansion is a very good example for that, in my opinion. Clock Tower, you've got the stairs leading up. It's not just flat. If you look at the 3 maps on the beta, damn, the only bit of height you got was when you went onto a little van to get the Boltok, or when you went up a little kind of ramp to get the boom shot. And that's a very small ramp. Other than that, there was no real, what's the word? Verticality. What's the other maps? We've got you've got Dam, you've got, oh shit, they've gone out of my head. Foundation. Probably had the most height to it. But even then you couldn't really, if there wasn't a sniper on that map, but if there was, there wasn't really no sniping point. Obviously not every map has to have a sniping point, it doesn't have to be a sniper map. But I guess a lot of people would say Foundation is the most Gearsy map, but even then it's not that it's too colourful. I don't mind the map being too colourful. Personally, I don't, it's hard to explain. What's the other map called? Damn, Foundation, oh for fuck's sake. The other map, we'll call it the other map for now. I can't believe I forgot the name of that, I apologise. But the other one was a bit darker. But that's not what I mean when I talk about the Gears atmosphere. It was just dark. It was just dark. That's it. Still didn't have the Gears atmosphere. Harbour. It was called Harbour. It was still not Gears of War. It's really hard to explain. But if you go back to Gears of War 1 and Gears of War 2 maps, they felt very Gears of War 2, gritty. And you just had a sense of Gears of War and Locust or Swarm being there. But you have to remember, we have not played a single player campaign yet. And you have to remember that these maps might not be finalised. They definitely haven't been finalised, rendered wise, graphics wise, that's for sure. But they may be some sort of atmosphere once we play the single player campaign and once the game's released. We don't know that. Personally, if you forget atmosphere, I thought the maps were really good. It's quite a controversial opinion because everyone hates them. I thought the maps were really good. I didn't have any issue with any of the maps. My personal favourite was Harbour, and then Dam, then Foundation. Didn't have anything wrong with Foundation. It just wasn't my favourite. So yeah, that's the way I see it. They're obviously taken an esports route, and that's quite obvious in the map layout. Would be quite flat and like loads of different blah, blah, blah. But I just, if you go back to Gears of War 3, I just keep thinking about Gears of War 3. That map on the beach, I can't remember what it's called, but there was a beach and there's a really high point which for some reason had the scorcher. Was it a boom shot was at the bottom with the Hammer of Dawn on the actual beach. It was basically a massive circle. You had the beach at the bottom, and as you got around to this point, it went up into that massive like hill where you could look down and snipe. That, if you really think that was a Gears of War map, when you really think about it, it wasn't. It was a beach with a hill. But I loved that map. So when I'm thinking in that way, does the map need to have a Gears atmosphere? To me, not really. Like, it does. Alright, Mansion is one of my favourite maps of all time, and that's when I think, yeah, we need some Gears atmosphere. But if the map plays well, if you enjoy the map, if it looks nice, if it just well balanced, I think a lot of people will be okay with it. At the end of the day, you're never going to get everyone happy. I think you get more people happy with having an atmosphere of Gears of War. But they are clearly taking the esports route, and I just think wait till the game's released, wait till we've had the single player, wait till we play the campaign. We'll understand the areas more, what happened in these areas, why these areas are now maps. One thing we might worry about though is if the maps we just had in the beta, they might not be in the campaign. They might just be maps. That's when it gets a bit weird for me. But as I said, I like the maps. I had no real issues apart from the atmosphere stuff. But I personally thought the maps were cool. I liked them. I enjoy playing on them. I hope they're on the full game because I will enjoy playing them on the full game. But I do agree with people about the atmosphere. I have to say, I do agree. That was a very weird opinion from me there. I agreed with them. I disagreed. It's a hard thing. It's a hard thing to get right. But atmosphere, Gears of War is famous for its atmosphere, whereas Call of Duty and other games such as I don't know. A good example is Star Wars Battlefront. Every time you was in those maps, you felt like you were playing Star Wars. Obviously, there's stormtroopers all over the place and other stuff. But if you was just walking around the map on your own, you'd feel like using Star Wars. That's partly to do with the music, but not just that. Just the environment. You felt like Star Wars. Gears of War, take that route and you're on to a winner. Personally, I think if you make you feel like you're in a Gears of War world, you win all the fans over. Okay, this is going to be a very long review. I don't know if to do it in 2 parts or 1. I want to do it in 1, so hopefully we can get this done quicker. Weapons. We're going to talk about weapons. So first of all the old weapons, they were all pretty much fine. I'm going to talk about 3 of them. So all the other ones, just assume I'm very happy with them. Stay as they are. I personally thought there was nothing much changed. Torque bow. One major point. You can't hear it being shot. Don't like that at all. Torque bow previously, if an enemy was getting ready to fire, you could hear it making that scary torque bow noise. We all know what we're talking about. And you know, shit, someone's got a torque bow. Where is he? Am I going to die? Why is that gone? Not only was it scary and made you think, shit, where is it? But it also helped you. It also, if you could see someone, you could go into cover. Now you could be walking around and fuck, oh shit, my head's gone off. They torque bowed me in the head. Didn't even know anyone had the torque bow. They need to bring that back. I don't know if that was a mistake in their coding, but they have to bring that back. They cannot get rid of that. Esports again, they will make a massive complaint if they can't hear someone with the torque bow. That's a weapon you need to be able to hear. Doesn't matter about a sniper. It's not because you're not winding up sort of thing. A torque bow you should be able to hear that. So the Nasher, move on to the Nasher. The Nasher was very powerful. I don't have many complaints about it apart from, actually it's not even a complaint. I like the Nasher. I just wanted to talk about the whole barrel shooting compared to the Gears of Ultimate Edition, which we've all got used to. I personally struggled. Going from Gears 3 to Ultimate Edition, I struggled getting used to center screen shooting again. And now I got used to that. Going from Ultimate Edition to Gears 4 beta, it took me ages to get back to barrel shooting. A lot of people moaned about the whole Nasher not that being inaccurate. It's not inaccurate. It's barrel shooting. Get used to barrel shooting again, and you'll be fine. Personally, if I had to choose between the two, I prefer barrel shooting because once you get used to it, it makes more sense than center screen shooting. It's a little bit powerful. I imagine they might tone it down a tad. But one thing that needs to be increased is the hammer burst. So the Lancer, as we all know, is pretty powerful in this game, has good stopping power. I wouldn't say it's overpowered by any means, the Lancer. It needs to be good. It can't be like Gears 1 or 2 where it was just weak as hell. It needs to have some sort of power to it. And it does, and it's good. It's not overpowered. I don't care what anyone says. The hammer burst is meant to be... They're supposed to have their benefits and like weaknesses. The Lancer should be a slightly longer range than the hammer burst. It's slightly less powerful, but from longer range. The hammer burst should be a lot closer range, but more powerful. In my opinion, that's what the hammer burst has always been, a powerful close range weapon. Whereas if you're from far away with the hammer burst, you're not going to do much damage at all. It needs a bit more power on the hammer burst, either more power or quicker, like rate of fire. It needs something to just. Right now, there's no point in using the hammer burst because the Lancer's better, even from close range. That's my opinion. And I think a lot of people would agree with that. And I think it does definitely need some sort of, even if it's just a rate of fire, just increase the rate of fire a tad and you're onto a winner. One weapon I do want to discuss is the drop shot, which is the only new weapon, I hope, otherwise I forgot one. From the beta, obviously the Buzzkill we haven't seen yet. Well, we have seen it, but not in the beta. Drop shot. What do I think of it? Excellent, excellent weapon. It took me a while to get used to it, but once you're used to it, it's a freaking brilliant weapon. And one thing I love about it is it feels like a Gears of War weapon. You know when you played Gears of War 1 for the first time, and you got hold of the torque bow, you got hold of the boom shot, you got hold of the Boltok pistol, then Gears 2 comes out, you got the Gorgon pistol, you got the Scorcher. That's just a flamethrower, but it felt like Gears of War. The Digger from Gears of War 3 felt like Gears of War weapon. Drop shot is exactly the same. It feels meaty, it feels powerful, it feels like Gears of War. I love it. One thing is it's not overpowered, but it's as good, if not better, than the boom shot. So it should have the same amount of ammo as the boom shot. Boom shot has 2 bullets, drop shot has 3. I think take that down to 2, and it's a well balanced weapon. Because with 3, you can kill a lot of people with 3 drop shots. I had a game the other day before it finished where I got 2 double kills and 2 bullets, and my third one I didn't. But if I had got that, would have been 6 kills with just 1 go with a drop shot. So now I think it should be chopped down to 2, and then it'd be a bit more balanced. But in terms of the gun, please do not change anything about it because it is brilliant, apart from the ammo. Okay, a quick discussion on the blood splatter. I think everyone is probably on the same boat as this. Get rid of it. Just get rid of it. As you've probably noticed, when you get a Nasher kill up close, boom, they die. The blood splatters on the screen. Nice idea, but it scares the shit out of me. I think someone's shooting me from behind. I just don't like it. It gets in the way of the screen. Maybe reduce it or just get rid of it in general. Or I'd say reduce it. It's nice to have a little bit of blood on the screen to know you got a kill. But you don't want... It's a lot of blood goes on that screen. I think it might happen when you get a chainsaw kill as well. I can't remember. But I noticed it a lot with Nasher kills. And I just think get rid of it. It gets in the way. And it makes people think they're getting shot when they're not. Okay, so now I want to quickly discuss Gears of War 3.5. What I mean by that is I saw a lot of people saying, oh, this isn't Gears of War, this is Gears of War 3.5. Oh, right. 3 things I've pointed out in the forums many times, which I believe is what you guys think is Gears of War 3.5. The graphics, which I've already discussed, not going to go over it again. Just please forget about the graphics. It's not designed, this beta was not designed to show off the graphics. They will be Gears of War 4 graphics, okay? Done. Next, the Swarm and the executions. The Swarm, I noticed this as well. The Swarm had their voices were pretty much, if not, they were identical to the Locust. Now, bear in mind, they might have done this on purpose. They must have done it on purpose. Let's stop. I'm getting angry. Right. 2 routes they're going to take on this. The Swarm, their voices were let's say they were the exact ones for the Locust. Fine. Everyone's annoyed. I get that. It's copying. It's too easy. Okay, fine. But what if they don't want you to know what the Swarm's voices are like? It's a beta, for God's sake. They're testing the gameplay. They don't want you to know what the Swarm sounds like because they want it to be a surprise. When you put that disc in Gears of War 4, you play the campaign, you first find the Swarm, and you don't know what the fuck they sound like, and you hear them, how scary they are, whatever they sound like, or even funny, whatever they sound like. They want it to be a surprise. Why would they show you in a beta? That's one way I could look at it. Or, what was the other way? That's the main way. I just forgot the other way. Okay, so after 5 minutes of thinking, I can't remember the other thing I was going to say. I think I just got really confused. Basically, as I said, why would they show you the Swarm voices when they'd rather make it a surprise in the final game when it's released? I think that's the reason why they sound like they do. And the way they look they do, it's not finished yet. Just forget about it. Let them do what they want. I like how they look. I believe that that's the other point. Found the other point in my head. There we go. What if the Swarm, as far as I'm aware, we have not been told where the Swarm originate from. What if they are some sort of Locust? What if they are some Locust and something else mixed? Who's to say? We don't know that. They might be Locust. They might be some sort of Locust. That's why they sound like them. We can't just go around and say they sound like Locust. Why do they sound like Locust? if they might be some sort of descendant from them. Just please don't worry about the swarm voices, guys. There'll either be a reason for it. There will be a reason for it. There's no way they're just going to copy and paste Locust voices. They're not that lazy. You guys think they're lazy with the graphics and stuff. They're not lazy. They work hard on these games. Trust me, there's a reason for it. Next one for Gears of War 3.5 is the executions. Now, this did bug me a bit, and then when I thought about it, it made sense in the same way. The executions were exactly the same as Gears of War 3. So, apart from the drop shot, because obviously that's a new one. But in terms of the sniper, same one. Bring it around, bash. Nasher, golf shot. Punching their face in. Curb stomp spinning that whole time, we want that back anyway. But they were all the same as Gears of War 3. Now, I admit, I put my hands up, I thought, that is fucking lazy. They need to bring something else in new. Why would I want to keep doing the same stuff? It's not as satisfying doing the same things you've done for years already. Same reason as the Swarm Voices. Why would they want to show us the new executions now? They're not testing them here. They don't want us to see them now. Why not let us be excited when we do them for the first time in the full game? So, again, same point. You're calling it Gears 3.5 now. Things will change. Things will get better. It's just a freaking beta, okay? They said they wanted to feel like Gears of War 3 in terms of movement and gameplay, because they feel like it was wasted, Gears of War 3, in terms of esports and stuff. They've said that. If you're not happy with that, go and play Gears of War 3. Gears of War 4 will feel like a better Gears of War 3. Call it Gears 3.5 as you want, but it will be Gears of War 4. Okay, so a quick summary on what I liked about the beta. This has been a 40-minute recording. I don't know if I can make it any less than half an hour. I might make it a two-part thing. We'll see. Anyway, overall discussion on what I liked about the game. Beta. So this is not everything. Obviously, I loved it. Things I wanted to point out was the drop shot. Fantastic. Love it. Pretty much keep it the same apart from the ammo. Loved it. Brilliant weapon. Great design from the team. Cannot give them any more applause. Absolutely brilliant weapon. Changing the gun before the match. I liked that. I really did like that. Many of you might disagree, but I thought that was a cool feature. The movement, as I mentioned, is brilliant. Only thing I would change, I'll talk about in a minute again, is the roadie run. But yeah, the movement's brilliant. Really well done from them. And it feels like Gears of War. It feels like Gears. It's satisfying. I know the atmosphere on the maps, blah, blah, blah. But getting Nasher kills and killing like 4 people when you're almost dead yourself is so satisfying. Getting headshots with a sniper is so satisfying. It's a satisfying game. Gears of War always has been. Gets your heart pumping. Brilliant game. Dodgeball is very good at that, by the way. When you're the last one left and you bring your whole team back, freaking satisfying. Dodgeball feels satisfying. The whole game feels satisfying. That's my big word there. Gears of War has always made me feel satisfied and pumped, and it feels exactly the same, and I love that. Overall, dislikes and things I might think should change. Pre-actives, we discussed that in length. Quick summary, just get rid of pre-actives. Let it be the way it always was. The active reloading system has always been perfect, and that's why we've never complained about it or asked you to fix it. Yes, we might have complained that our weapon's too powerful when it's active, but that's not a system, that's just a damage. Maybe tone some stuff down that way, but do not mess with the system, please. Talkbow, please, please, please bring back the sound for when it's winding up. I personally think they wouldn't have got rid of that on purpose. I reckon that was a mistake they made in coding or something. I imagine it'll be there in the full game, and I really hope it is, because that really was a big mistake by them getting rid of that. The roadie run shake, that to me just needs to go. If it's going to make people dizzy and feel sick, you're just going to lose customers and they're not going to play the game as much. Guys, just get rid of it or tone it down, do something. It's not needed at all. And the last point, they're my 3 main things. Just those things are my main issues. This one's a slight one. The map atmospheres, I'm not really decided where I am on that. If you could make them a bit more atmospheric, perfect. I like the map layouts, it's just the atmosphere is lacking a bit of oomph. If you can sort that, it's fine. But yeah, that's my Gears of War 4 beta review. I think I've gone over everything I wanted to go over. It's been very long. Let me know what you think. This is the video where I really want everyone to bombard my comments. If you've played the game, if you haven't, and you've just seen people play it, or if you've played the previous games, let me know what you think. I'd really appreciate as much feedback as possible. I'm going to put this on the Gears 4 forums, even though probably people will hate me for doing it. But it's an extensive review of what I thought about the game. I really wanted to get this out instead of doing a first impressions, because I didn't want to do that for a game I love as much as Gears of War. I wanted to fully discuss, once I've had a fully good understanding of the game, what I thought of the game. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you next time.